Hey guys, what's going on? This is Darth Arma providing a little bit of commentary for HoneyBee and Biohazard as they decide to dive in to these obscure, rarely seen matchups. These are first to fives.
Guardian of the Green.
We've no quarrel, servant order.
You are mistaken, Swamp Thing.
Begin.
Diving into a little obscure series of first to fives. Now, this is definitely a matchup I've never seen before. Swamp Thing being rocked over there by Biohazard. Going up against HoneyBee's Dr. Fate. Pretty much now that Deadshot is no longer in the picture, Dr. Fate is the king of zoning. Kind of, has all these meticulous setups. He's got a lot of dirt once he is up close, but really what he wants to do is he wants to keep you out. He wants to keep you away. Good block there by the low HoneyBee, but he thought it was an opportunity to get out, and a huge, devastating drop there by Biohazard. HoneyBee coming out and taking full advantage of the opportunity here, trying to get him into that little orb. That red orb will deplete his opponent's life, but Biohazard doesn't want to go anywhere near it. Decides to switch sides, looking for the forward three, and the delayed wake up was able to really punish it. With the low, trying to backdash to get a little bit of breathing room between himself and Dr. Fate, but Dr. Fate just goes straight into the wake-up attack. Ooh, looking for the sweep under the orb as HoneyBee thought he was totally safe behind it, setting up camp, throwing the orb between himself and his opponent, just giving him the opportunity and the green light to just continue to zone, continue to build meter, and hopefully force his opponent into a bad situation. Looking for the jump back too, but HoneyBee didn't jump after him. HoneyBee with the challenge right after there, giving him the shoulder charge, sending him over to pretty much into the middle of the map. And the command throw does connect from downtown. Now he's got to be very specific about where he places it. Biohazard trying to get something going here. Pretty close in terms of meter, but Biohazard does have a pretty decent life deficit. The command grab decides to get a little bit more health back. And the wake up super, is this gonna connect? Yes, it is. Taking him over to the other realms where he can meet all the Dr. Fates and just get mollywopped back and forth. And that super connected. Was enough damage on the board for HoneyBee to take the first game here over Biohazard. And I love the fact that HoneyBee can kind of dive into this whole new character, this character with a completely different mindset, a completely different strategy.
Why do you attack me, Fate?
Chaos infests the green.
Then I alone can save it.
Begin.
Okay, so what's Biohazard going to do in this situation? I mean, I feel like that last game, it was pretty much all played in that right corner. And HoneyBee does get the first hit award now in this game. For those of you who don't know, in Justice 2, you get a bonus meter for obtaining that first hit. And that first hit does count when you put down that red orb there by Dr. Fate. Tucking that statue, but it's going to be gone for the rest of the game. No longer in use here, but Biohazard's okay with it. Building a lot of health here, switching sides and putting Fate in the corner where he's going to have a little less room to wiggle around, a little less real estate to work with. And Biohazard off to a great start here in the second game, completely turning this around. Been rolling in there, getting right through HoneyBee's projectiles and wasting all the time away from this character power. Oh, the whiff back three, and that's very, very important, and that's a little bit of a drop there by Biohazard. Not sure what he was going for, or if he was just kind of holding on to momentum, looking for a reset here. Almost connects the command grab. Now, once that command grab does hit, it does go into a special animation, and that kind of just, renders everything else on the screen at the time useless. So Biohazard's in a pretty okay spot right here, looking for the command grab, chucking him over here, and now he's in the garden, the character power of Swamp Thing. Once you are in that garden, you are not only taking little by little damage, but you actually cannot jump. You can't get off the ground, and it's a lot easier for Swamp Thing to hold you still once you're there in his forest. So Biohazard completely turned this around.
Will you sacrifice yourself?
I will to save the green.
That I cannot promise.
Begin.
The blocks are the low. Now that log is a cancelable, is a special move that you cancel your strings into. Special move that hits low and just knocks you straight on your face, leaving Swamp Thing in that perfect range to just continue pressing his buttons on you. The meter burn back 3 here. Setting up orbs, setting up shop here, and just going for it, possibly trying to bait Biohazard going into it. But, you know, Biohazard doing a good job of playing the neutral here, understanding that that orb was active and he couldn't completely commit here. But now he's in a bad spot. Never mind, gets the hit, gets a little bit of breathing room, and he's walking down to the gargoyle, and HoneyBee wants to go back in the corner. He wants to keep Biohazard there because, like, he knows that's where he won his first game. And this is not where he wants to be right now. Something at a slight life lead, around 30%. Looking for the command grab here. Now, when Dr. Fate is all red like that, when you see the character power, it actually changes the properties of all his special moves. Usually, you know, generally, it adds more damage and it lessens the recovery by a lot. So, just kind of think of his special moves as a little bit stronger. Checking the gargoyle, now the blockable, interactable here. Gets the command grab, perfect timing there by Biohazard. You really got to give it to him. Gives him the throw and cancels the force here. The meter burn back 3 and the forward 3 to keep it unclashable. The meter burn back 3, once you get hit by that, you actually cannot air escape. So you can just helplessly watch there, even if you have all the meter in the world. And right there in that situation, HoneyBee had 3 bars, but air escaping was not an option.
We both serve higher powers.
That does not make us allies.
No, it does not.
Begin.
For the first hit, blocking the low, and HoneyBee looking for the throw, somehow doesn't get punished for it. Both players just pressing buttons all over each other, but Biohazard building so much meter. First hit has not been awarded yet. And there it is, the first hit with that down 1 from HoneyBee. Pretty much tying up the meter game in general here. Meter burning it to pop him over to the other side, chucking the gargoyle for that free chip damage. Really tough to punish there, even when you know it's coming. Oh, a little bit of a side switch there, a little miscalculation by HoneyBee, not anticipating what side he was going to be on. HoneyBee's trying to get something going here, trying to set up shop, chucks those ashes over there, sets up the orb, meter burning it to keep it in place, keeping it there and active, and pretty much just as a threat for so long. There you go, again, in a bad spot here. Biohazard taking extra damage because of that red aura. The red aura that he places right there to inflict a little bit of damage over time over his opponent, as long as his opponent's in that vicinity. Oh, HoneyBee is just, I'm sorry, he literally just got outspaced there. Biohazard understanding exactly where his buttons reach, the maximum range and where he needs to be pressing them. HoneyBee just finding the wrong end of them. Setting up the orb, backing off, and Biohazard gets under it. Looking for the sweep there, but the delay wake up threw off his timing, giving HoneyBee a little bit of momentum, a little bit of breathing room to kind of back off. But Biohazard just chucking logs over and over again, just hitting him in the feet, and HoneyBee has had it. He needs to go in. He needs to make something happen. Now Biohazard has a lot more meter. I don't know if this is going to be enough, and it was. Oh, man. Oh, man, that was a lot of damage.
Swamp Thing wins.
And Biohazard's looking real dominant here. I think he's basically picked up on the fact that HoneyBee is trying to set this pace, this patient full screen pace. And it looked like HoneyBee was trying to make his comeback, and he was starting to once he started getting aggressive a little towards the end, kind of throwing off Biohazard. And you know, that's the thing. You know, we've seen it time and time again through anyone who's really played a zoning character at the highest level. They have to be able to kind of, you know, keep their opponent guessing, not just, you know, full projectile, full screen projectile, full screen projectile.
We've no quarrel, servant of order.
You are mistaken, Swamp Thing.
So to be a powerful zoner, you really need to know how to switch it up, how to get aggressive, and pretty much when to get aggressive. Zoning is not all just sitting back, sitting back, sitting back. It's, you know, eventually, especially in this game with so many mechanics in this game that help you zero in the space between yourself and your opponent, you really need to know when to switch it up and what to expect in order to be a phenomenal zoning character player. Checking those orbs there, the projectile, the finger-pointing projectile by Dr. Fate, and setting up the meter burn orb here, switching over to his character power, trying to inflict a little more damage here, but Biohazard pretty much wasting all that time from the animation of that command grab. And HoneyBee just wants to keep him away, keep him at bay. Not sure where the meter bird is going, but it doesn't matter. Biohazard gets under it, but a huge drop there. Pretty much cost him that gray health bar. The fact that he let HoneyBee slip through his fingers, that was huge here. And HoneyBee, you know, being the player that he is, absolutely ready to capitalize on it 100%. Oh, popping him up there. The throw, the dirty stuff here. Again, a little bit of a drop. A little assist there by Swamp Thing's friend, Swamp Thing, to just, you know, throw HoneyBee a little bit back towards him, but Biohazard just not able to get rid of that pixel, and HoneyBee just running away with it.
Respect the earth or leave.
And he's just trying to chip him out little by little. Really nothing Biohazard could have done in that situation. And, you know, HoneyBee.
Why do you attack me?
Chaos infests the green.
Then I alone can save it.
Begin.
Hitting him with the low there after the overhead from that string. It's kind of like a guessing game, but it's a little slower. You can almost kind of react to it, which is, you know, why it's safe. Well, now it's safe. I believe in the previous patch it was unsafe. So Swamp Thing getting those buffs, but I'm not sure if it's going to be enough. Setting up the orb here, wants to get established, trying to build a little bit of meter and hopefully find Swamp Thing going right through it and popping up for a combo. Right there at the perfect distance, just getting under all those finger shots. Those finger shots, when you meter burn them and they don't make contact, it's pretty much like wasted bar there. So, you know, any player, once they get under all three shots, you pretty much want to consider that a win, even when he's traded up like this and he recovers a little bit faster. You made him waste meter, you didn't take any chip damage, but Biohazard needs to get something else going here. Finds the distance between himself and his opponent to just kind of wither away, getting some kind of combo started here, and HoneyBee being very patient, blocking when he needs to be blocking. And that's really the main thing that you need to establish against Swamp Thing is he's the range there on that move where he just pulls out that stick from his back. It's huge. You just gotta respect it, and you gotta take your time, block, and look for your opening afterwards. Oh, beating him there before his own normal became active, but a little bit of a drop here. Now he is in the corner, and Biohazard using those longer limbs to make sure he gets around the orb. Not susceptible to getting hit by the orb, but close enough that he's actually making contact with Dr. Fate. The meter burn back three going in, didn't want to go back.
Nature take its course.
Nature's course is chaos.
Interesting choice of him not to want to go for the clash with damage, especially considering how much more health, or I'm sorry, how much more meter Swamp Thing had in that exchange. Especially because Dr. Fate can just kind of chip you out, and it's really hard to avoid getting chipped out by Dr. Fate. I guess unless you're right in his face, and when you're right in the distance of being right in Swamp Thing's face is so far because of those normals. Hold on, HoneyBee still has a clash of his own. And there it is, sealing the deal there. Character power into that orb. Now normally that orb, the aura, is yellow when he's not in his character power, but when he's in his character power, it's actually red and it inflicts damage on his opponent. It turns from a defensive tool to an offensive tool.
That does not make us allies.
No, it does not.
Begin.
The set's tied up 3-3, and Biohazard looking to take the lead here in this game. Ending it here with a command grab, checking him on the ground, and again, checking him right afterwards. You gotta respect it, you know. Swamp Thing's always gonna be in range right after that command grab. And you really just gotta take your time and block it. How do you be getting under the assist? Charging in with his shoulders. Switching over to the character power, bouncing him up there thanks to that orb. Big combo. That is a big combo and a big whiff punish right in front of his face. Biohazard was so sure that he was going to advance, whiffed the down one right in his face, and got punished for it. Oh, hits him with the tricky, with the command grab to switch over to the other side. Good presence of mind there by Biohazard, always keeping track of where he is on the map, where he is on the screen at all times. Now, the corner is devastating in any fighting game, but it's especially important in Injustice to be aware of your surroundings.
The green repels you.
Hubris seals your fate.
3-1, Biohazard making the shots here, going for 25% of a health regain, not blocking overhead with that forward three that just kind of spins Fate after you. A great way to kind of seal the distance between yourself and your opponent. Looking for some kind of whip there, not anticipating the overhead. Good blocks there by HoneyBee. Charging him there with the shoulder, going for the character power, and Swamp Thing giving him a character power of his own, hoping to get the command grab, but not quite there yet. Is he going to force the clash? Swamp Thing has more meter. Now it's almost tied here pretty much at this point, so clashing can be an option for HoneyBee, but he decides to just set up shop here with the orb. Oh, he's got to get out of there, and he doesn't make it out in time. HoneyBee taking the lead 4-3. Biohazard's got to win 2 straight in order to make this comeback in this 1-5 race. This is a very obscure matchup. I have never, ever seen this before.
Why do you attack me, Fate?
Chaos infests the green.
Then I alone can save it.
Begin.
All right, who's going to get that first hit, and who's going to get that award of meter? And HoneyBee makes the connection there with the regular orb. Very slow, but it's one of those. It's a very dangerous tool to have once you can meter burn it and just set it up right in front of your opponent. And in a lot of matchups, players can't really do much about it. They just got to sit there and wait if they don't have the meter to make the call and get through it. Oh, looking for that down 2 here, but HoneyBee just a little too far. Good spacing of that jump and arc there. The garden is down. Biohazard trying to spread it around. If HoneyBee finds himself in there, he's going to be hurting for a lot. And not only hurting for a lot, but completely immobilized from jumping. Thankfully for HoneyBee, that character power was up and not active. Looking for the command grab here. Meter running those projectiles. And getting right under there, right through it. Biohazard, it's very risky stuff to just kind of always know when your opponent's going to be pressing those buttons, when your opponent's going to be shooting out those projectiles. Hitting him with the shoulder check here, trying to make the most he can out of this lead, trying to hold on to this little sliver of gray health that he still has remaining as HoneyBee just tries to get it going here. The waste of meter, heartbreaking for HoneyBee here. And HoneyBee just not respecting any kind of, any follow-up after the command grab, just trying to press buttons, trying to get away from him, trying to set up shop, and Biohazard all over it, understanding fully that he does not want to sit still and that he's going to catch these hands, he's going to catch these normals. Down 1 into the log kick. It does combo there, and Biohazard tying the setup 4-4. Somehow we're going to a final game here. A game 9 to determine the 1-5 in this obscure matchup. And, I just want to say I'm super impressed by both these players, but not the least bit surprised.
Will you sacrifice yourself?
I will to save the green.
That I cannot promise.
Begin.
All about the green. Oh, gets the first hit here. Biohazard trying to get it with that command grab. Both players just being very respectful, taking their turns, not really challenging here, but looking for the down 2. Unfortunately, Biohazard does not make the connection here. Oh, this one's gonna hurt because of that character power. It adds a lot of combo potential here, giving you a nice little wall splat. Oh, Biohazard being completely oppressed in this corner, just trying to desperately get out as HoneyBee just continues his pressure, continues just putting hands on him, putting symbols, putting everything all over him, and keeping him in this red aura here, doing so much damage. Biohazard looking like he's in a really bad spot. The air-to-air, okay, this could be the start of it. Doesn't get the command grab there at the end. Looking for the whiff there, knocking HoneyBee right on his face. The meter burn back 3. This might be enough to take this the great health bar. It's going to be close. And never mind, he does take it, no problem here. Okay, Biohazard looking to turn this around. He is at a slight meter deficit here, but a few right reads could tie it all up. HoneyBee going right for that very, very quick interactable, just pounding the wall and just putting that hitbox all over the ground, pretty much making the ground lava for that split second. And the meter right back through, we're getting a transition going all the way over to the other side of Condor through interdimensional portals, the staircases. And that was definitely a trade in HoneyBee's favor, doing a little bit more damage there with the interactable, jumping in, no anti-airs there, and HoneyBee trying to get some health back, or not sure if that was an input error, but Biohazard doesn't care, he just knows he's catching these hands and eating this. Are we going to end it with a super just like we did before? Really? We're going to end it. The last game came down to the exact last play of the first game, somehow, and in the same stage. Hold on, he's still alive. He's still alive. He can make something happen. Oh, no, never mind. Right there, HoneyBee barely taking it over as Biohazard was on the verge of making that comeback. Guys, if you want to follow me on Twitter, you guys can do so. You guys can follow me on Twitter, YouTube, or Twitch, all at Darth Arma. And guys, if you're not subscribed to HoneyBee's YouTube channel, be sure to do so. I know we have at least 2 more first to 5s from this dynamic duo coming this way. So subscribe and like this video. Take it easy.